Hello and welcome back to another Pathfinder update video, and today I'm going to be showing you all of the stuff that I've worked on in the past 2 weeks. So without further ado, here's the demo.
Welcome to PathFinder. Feel free to look around, and when you're ready to get started, press Y. Before we begin, let's define a question to which you wish to find an answer and note it down. Click Next when ready. Great. Let's choose the card which reflects your current situation. Now, let's choose a card that demonstrates your desired state. Now, let's determine your biggest obstacle. The next card will show you possible solutions you may undertake. Almost there. Let's choose a card that will show you the resources and strengths you have. Look at the first card you selected. What does it represent about your current situation? If this card were a scene from your life, what would be happening? What emotions does this image bring up for you? List 2 to 3 words. Look at your second card. What challenge does this card represent? Look at the third and fourth cards. What possible solutions do these cards suggest? Look at your fourth card. What strengths or external support does this card suggest? Look at your final card. How does it represent your goal or ideal future? If this card symbolized success, what would that look like for you?
So as you can see in the demo, the game finally has its own menu. Like, you are able to, in the beginning when you open the game, the user agreement and privacy is going to show up, and then the user has to click agree, and then they could proceed to playing the game. So when the user clicks controls, the controls get shown with the proper labels of how things are working, and like, this is how you open the menu, this is how you This is like how you trigger the speech to text and stuff like that. And also, start game leads to the game, and when the user clicks on start game, they will be transported to an empty world with a loading screen, so that they could be prepared and have a smoother experience into going from one world to another, because that's how open level works in Unreal Engine. Like, they have to go through like a level first, which is like a loading level basically. So we have like a loading widget onto it, so that it specifies that yeah, it is a loading screen, and you have to wait a little bit, maybe like a couple seconds, and then the game loads, and some of the textures still start to render and load. But so yeah, as you can see, I was able to make the main menu for right now. Next up is a minor one, which is the speech to text. I capitalized the first letter of each word just so that it would look a little cleaner and look better and stuff like that. And the third one is that now there is a laser that the user can use in order to pick up the cards with that laser. And they would be able to just use that to, like grab a card, flip it, and they don't have to they don't have to move forward and get their table all messed up or something like that. If they're in a tight space, they are able to just like pick up the card with the laser. And as long as like they basically the way the laser works is that they're going to point at the card where the laser is. Press it, and then they're gonna like hold it again, like press it again, and then flip the card, and that's their card. And it basically works the same way that they're grabbing it. They have to hold it until they let go of the card. So when they let go of the card, they would be able to just they let go of the card. It goes to a certain slot. And so yeah, and the fourth change that I've made is that I have modified some of the AI voice, because some of the AI voice was basing it off of the wireframe of the things that are written there, which is like write down this, write down that, in which the player isn't really going to write things down. They are going to voice things with vocally. And the fifth change that I've made, which took up a little bit of my last week, is the journal. So initially, we were supposed to actually go for the SQL things, like the database and stuff like that, as I was explaining in the last Pathfinder update video. However, there are some things that we had to consider, like because this project is primarily going to be blueprint only, because C++ is going to be an entire next level, but because it's not really like, we're not really going to need like an insane amount of like a whole database and the joins and stuff like that, because we're not really going to need like much for saving the data. Like, we are going to save what the player is saying locally, and what they're, we're not going to send it to the internet or anything like that. So we've just decided not to use a database or SQLite. What we've instead decided to do is use text files to save it locally onto the quest, so that the things that they're saying, the things that they're going to be, like the cards they're going to be picking up, it is now saved in the journal. So as soon as the game ends and they've managed to like reflect on the 5 cards that they've picked, the game automatically saves, and all of the information, all of the things that they've said, and all of the things that they've uttered, they've picked up, is going to be saved into the journal, which you can open inside of the menu right here. So as soon as you open this menu, the journal button is going to show up, and you'd be able to click that, and the journal appears. And you can scroll with it, like you can scroll with your left joystick, and you'd be able to just scroll down and see all of the entries that you have had in the past few days. And it's going to save, as a journal does. Maybe in the future we're going to apply a functionality where the user is able to delete stuff in the journal. But right now, this is just to show you what the journal, this is obviously also a placeholder. Like, this is not going to be like the final product of what the journal is going to look like. I'm just showing you like how I've implemented the journal. Like, it's there now. Like, if someone wants to design, or if There's going to be someone that's going to design the journal. It is going to be functional. They just need to put a design on it, and it is going to be functional because I've worked on it. So yeah, the text files, it's going to save there, and it's going to save locally in their quest, in their profile. Like, I did some research, and apparently, the save file lands in your app-specific directory when a different meta profile is active on the same headset. Android will give your app a different per user directory so they won't see each other's saves. So yeah, so that's how saving works inside of the Quest 3. It is user specific, so it doesn't really need to be fiddled with anymore. And so yeah, there nothing really needs to be changed there. And if there is, there's also a different way I can implement it, which is through like the user ID, because there's also an option in Unreal Engine where we'd be able to get the person's or the ID of the person logged in, and they'd be able to just have that data exclusively there. But right now, as far as we know, it is actually implemented automatically by Quest 3. And some minor tweaks, which is that I added like a 3D sound effect to the waterfall. So there's a little bit of a sound effect that you'd hear like once you get closer, and even hear when you're still up here on this little place here.
Before we begin,
you'd be able to hear a little bit of the waterfall, and when you get closer, it's obviously going to get louder. And it's pretty cool. I mean, like, if there needs to be adjustments with the volume there, it could easily be adjusted. But I think it's pretty cool that we are also going to be able to, you know, add a little bit of ambient sounds, you know, the rustling of the trees, the, you know, swaying of the flowers, and this waterfall as well. I literally just added a sound effect onto the waterfall so that just to see what it sounds like and how it's going to seem like once we actually add some more sound effects. So that is going to be added inside of the game. And yeah, as you can see also, lastly, a little bit of a minor tweak as well is that I have moved the final, you know, the user's problem question, like the question that they want answered, on top of the cards themselves, so that, you know, like they don't have to look on the right and stuff like that. The only thing on the right is going to be their preview of what they've said. But even then, in the future, I'm going to be putting that under the cards so that they aren't going to need to look over left or right. But in the meantime, that's where they're going to look, and that works properly and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I've worked on this week. And there's, you know, it took a couple of blueprints. It took a bit, my blueprints are a little messy right now. I can't even show them, but yeah, my blueprints, it took a little bit of blueprints and a little bit of blood, sweat, and tears to get here. I'm joking. But yeah, it's really fun. Oh, and also I've changed the logo as well. Previously, we had the previous PathFinder logo, and I've managed to change it on the main menu, and I've also changed it on the world itself. And I've removed like the other logo here, so it doesn't really need to be here because that's not really the logo. It was just a test. And yeah, so that is it for this week's catch-up video. And if you guys want to try it, the APK is on the Google Drive. And so yeah, this is, I mean, it's pretty functional now. It kind of works. There's still some kinks to be worked on, like the speech to text itself, like the way it's being used. Like, it works, but it's a little clunky in a way, because when you talk, you know, the text doesn't get cleared and all that. That also needs to get sorted out in some way. But overall, you are able to actually play an actual Pathfinder game, and it's like from start to finish. It works from the main menu to the actual game. And so yeah, thank you guys for watching this Pathfinder update video, and I will see you all next week. Bye!